So after you came back from Denmark, what happened?
Well, I started Weber State College and studying French and German, and was going to graduate in French. But for some reason, the third or fourth year of French wasn't being taught because of the small college at that time. And so I started taking history. And people ask me, why did you take history?
Mm-hmm.
And my answer is always to get out of college. I'm not gonna teach. I'm not gonna do any of those things.
Right.
But it was just a way to get. I went to college only for one reason. That was to get out of college. Because nobody would hire you if you didn't have a college degree.
Oh, yeah.
And I had heard that from everywhere, and I knew that, of course.
Right.
But so I took all of those classes, and then for diversion, I took music classes and joined the Weber State Singers. And that year, that next year, they didn't have an auditorium, so Ogden High School was putting on, or they were going to put on my carousel at Weber High School. And of course, at the time, I was typecast because of Gordon McRae, but I also could sing better than anybody there.
Yeah.
And so I got the part of Billy Bigelow. And those months of time of getting that part and doing that part in the play was just fantastic. Even my French teacher, who I had a crush on, and she was not married either, she was in the orchestra, and she came to see it every night, played the violin, and she'd always say, "Brother Bingham, you were great last night." And so anyway, I did that and stayed with the Weber State Singers throughout the years, and finally I got married, and all of that fun time ended. I became a married man. And
where did you meet Mom?
she tells the story different than I do. We were at Kenny's Shoes. She says I chased her around the back room. She actually chased me around the back room. You know, she couldn't keep her hands off me. She was just that way. I think she hated me at first. She just thought I was an asshole. And a lot of people think that way because of the way I am. Pretty soon she figured out I wasn't such an asshole, but I was somebody that had a little thread of intelligence. She decided I was probably different than some of her boyfriends of the time, which were many. And of course, she went to a dance with somebody else one night, and I dogged her all the way around the dance floor and got in on her and everything else. She wasn't very happy about that night. But then pretty soon after that, we got engaged. We had a couple of classes together, and we both flunked the classes that we had together because we cut during the class and go off to our rendezvous. I had an apartment in Ogden that I lived in by myself with, well, I had a roommate, I can't even remember his name, but it was kind of a neat place. And she had her little Buick, it wasn't a Buick, a little tiny car. It wasn't hard to drag up the Riverdale Road.
Not the Opal.
Yeah, it was the Opal. And she couldn't even make it up the hill. Had to be pushed to get up the hill at the Riverdale Road overpass. Anyway, we got married, and the rest is history. Nothing else to tell.
It's a little bit.
So I'm about done today.
Yeah. We're
So
done. I'm glad we got to have some of those stories from the early days.
yeah, yeah, you know the rest of the story.
I know the rest of the story. We know the rest is history. But it was good to hear about your early days of growing up in Hooper and Far West.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah,
happy 80th.
yeah. Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Here's to you. Thanks.